The second trend is a more real economy trend. And by that, I mean like actual, not financial markets and interest rates, but actual spending on goods and services. And so this trend is the shift from a pandemic era economy to a post-pandemic era economy. Namely, it's a shift from buying goods to buying services. So look at this chart. We see how in the early months of the pandemic, all kinds of consumer spending fell, but over the last 2 years, spending on things, on goods, especially durable goods in the light blue line here, has been super strong. Durable goods spending is 25% above its pre-pandemic level, even after adjusting for inflation. So we see that real consumer spending for non-durables is also up over 10%, but services spending had been lagging for almost all of 2020 and 2021 until late last year it started to pick up. Now this makes sense, right? With the spread of COVID vaccines, the quote-unquote reopening of the economy, more people are consuming services, meaning movie theater tickets and haircuts. And so services spending, after adjusting for inflation, just recently hit its pre-pandemic level. This chart is indexed to February of 2020. And so services spending is poised to really take off. What do I mean by that? Well, what we've seen all these headlines of how retail inventories have been overbuilt. So Target issued a profit warning. Walmart also talked about how it's going to take several quarters to work through this inventory glut. And so when retailers' inventories are really high, unusually high, that tells you that consumer spending on goods, not durable and non-durable goods, has probably started to shift. And we see spending moving more towards things like leisure and hospitality. So leisure is a huge red hot sector right now in terms of restaurants, bars, hospitality, and travel. We see that in travel numbers. So this chart here is showing you TSA checkpoints, the amount of Americans traveling in this year of 2022 compared to pre-pandemic. That's the blue line. We're basically at 90% of the pre-pandemic travel right now. As of June of this year, we're at 90% of June of 2019. But we're way above where we were last year. That's the orange line. Relative to 2020 and 2021, current TSA travelers are very, very above those trends. So we see an uptick in travel. It keeps growing. It hasn't fully recovered, but it's 90% of the way there. What has fully recovered is restaurants. So in terms of the shift, again, the key point of this second trend here is a shift from goods spending to services spending, or to going out and kind of consuming leisure and travel and food. So we see restaurant reservations. This is from Open Table. This is real-time data as of yesterday. We see how throughout 2021, it went up and down depending on COVID variants. Even earlier this year, there was kind of a downtick a bit in terms of concerns about COVID and restaurant bookings. But right now, compared to 2019, we're seeing restaurants just as full as they were 3 years ago. So this is telling you that this shift towards services, towards the kind of normalization of a post-pandemic economy, it's well underway.